When I do come, I'm gonna have an arsenal of entertainment. Okay, you ain't gonna do nothing, so I can get close to what I want. However you want it, that's how I'm gonna give it to you. I'm giving it to you just like you want it. I don't know who you beat, I don't know who you lost to. Easy work. Easy work.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. Easy Work Wednesdays. I'm back. The gang's all here. It's a fight week. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. What's up, Matt? We got Ari in the building. Jay Stacks, Tank, Sura. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
We good. I'm good.
I'm good, Ego.
Another fight week.
Yeah,
I'm well.
Let's jump right into it for the fans. I'm excited for this fight. Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. I guess I'll just straight away start predictions. We'll do it from the top, at least as my screen's showing. Matt, what are your initial thoughts and predictions on a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz?
I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. It might actually be better than the Teofimo Lopez-Lomachenko fight. I think, from everything I've been, it definitely is. So
in terms of two-way traffic, that I think so.
Exactly. I think, there's going to be some hands flowing before the end of the 7th round, unlike that other fight, right? So I totally think Gervonta is going to take it, probably 8th, 9th round KO, TKO. So I think that's what I'm going for. But I definitely, Leo's going to put in that work. So I'm not discounting Leo at all. But I just think Gervonta is another animal. And I think he's coming in real ready to fight this one.
Now I got a follow-up question for you. You're saying Tank maybe 8th, 9th, second half of the fight, basically. Leo's never been stopped. I don't remember where he's been dropped either. He might have been dropped. I remember it came close in the Frampton first fight. He kind of staggered back. Why are you picking Tank by stoppage since Leo hasn't been stopped? What makes you feel that Tank has what it takes to produce that?
So to that point, I really think Tank's got power that Leo's never faced. So everybody else Leo's faced, smaller guys, right? And obviously Gervonta is not a big guy, but I think he's got big man power, right? We don't compare him to Mike Tyson for no reason. Like, the dude is going to come in there and he's going to put a wallop on him. You see what you see in all the Showtime stuff. Gervonta is ready. They put him in this place, this 12-week camp. Like, I think they're coming in with a real game plan. They're going to soften him up. And then the later rounds, he's going to go down.
Fair enough. Ari, what are your initial thoughts, predictions? Let's go.
I have Tank Davis winning by TKO as well. I don't think Leo has the firepower to keep Tank Davis off of him for 12 rounds. I think the earlier rounds will be, they might have some good exchanges. I don't see Leo. Leo sometimes he likes to brawl too much. And if he does that with Tank, he's going to get knocked out quick. So, it all depends how long Leo can fight from the outside, box, move. So, like I said, I think TKO by the 7th round, the latest. But, it could be the 5th. It just depends how long Leo could box and not exchange with Tank.
Okay, Leo Santa Cruz, he's much taller than Tank. Do you think Leo Santa Cruz fights tall?
He doesn't. That's the problem. Leo likes to brawl sometimes, so he doesn't fight tall. He likes to brawl, and I feel like, the sooner he likes to brawl, the sooner he's gonna get knocked out. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I said I don't think he has the firepower to keep Tank off of him, because Tank is gonna just walk him down. Let's remember also that Leo is moving up from 126. He is moving up weight. Even though, like you guys were saying, Tank is not a big guy, but he got big man power in both hands. So, I see it by TKO.
Just for the clarification for the audience too, his last fight was at the same weight class. He fought the Flores dude on the Wilder Luis Ortiz 2 undercard. I was at that fight, so I definitely remember that. He didn't look that great. He said he was sick or something like that, but that was at the same 130 weight class. But he is new to the division, as Ari is saying. All right, my man Jay Stacks, prediction, initial thoughts, impressions.
Like I said, I've told you this more than once. Tank by KO by the 9th round. And the reason why, it's the exact reason why Loma didn't get knocked out. Santa Cruz is a volume puncher, so he's gonna let his hands go. When you let your hands go, you leave yourself susceptible to get hit. Tank hits hard, real hard, so he's gonna knock him out.
Do you think Leo has who's the better boxer?
We're not sure. We never really seen Tank box, but when you hear Floyd talk about him, Tank can box. He just doesn't. He never had to. I think he's gonna come in there boxing, but he still hits hard. So you can't get caught with a shot. And when you're letting your hands go, there's 90% of the time you're gonna get caught with a shot.
So Tank's too explosive, basically, and too strong,
Yeah.
too powerful.
He's too strong, too explosive. He has great footwork. Like, he's been in there, like, yo, when he was in there with Gamboa should have went down way earlier than he did. But
what about the fact that Leo Santa Cruz never been stopped before, and he hasn't been dropped like Amir Khan? He ain't been dropped a gang of times.
Okay, I get that. But has he been hit by somebody who hits as hard as Tank?
What do you guys think? I'm trying to think. Leo's best names: Abner Mares. He don't hit as hard as Tank. I wouldn't say.
But I'm talking about like a clean hit. Like, yo, everybody. What Mike Tyson said. Yo, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Fact.
Like, yo, he gets punched in the mouth. Like, Tank hits hard, and everybody knows it, and they think, oh, just like Teofimo. Whenever they think about Teofimo versus Loma, everybody's like, oh, the power versus the skilled boxer. No, Tank is a skilled boxer too. He has a good amateur record too. He can box, but he hasn't had to, and he's left-handed, which creates the problem.
That's a good point. The southpaw stuff. No, you can keep going. I'm just saying that's a good point. Like,
no, but but it is what it is. That's why I think he's gonna get knocked out. But here's my thing. Like, I give Leo the fact that he has heart most of the time, so he'll probably try and fight Tank again. But like, I think was it you? It was you or one of the other channels I watched talking about Tank came out and said this is his weight. Like, 130 is his natural weight. It's like he moved up to 135. Yes, he's good at it, but he's 5'5". Leo Santa Cruz is only 5'7". They're not that much different. But Tank knows how to position himself. And he doesn't do it the way like Loma does it, where you jump in and out. No, Tank will walk you down and he'll position himself where he can get his shots off and he has good defense.
All right. Sura, with the same question that we've been going through.
I see, I know leopards don't change their stripes, but I think Leo do his best impression to change the stripes. You don't want to run into that power. Tank is like a damn Tasmanian devil, dude. Shit. I don't know. I think Leo gonna change the stripes. I think he's gonna box a bunch until eventually, like I said, the person gonna knock Leo out is gonna be himself. If he gets reckless and try to run in there on Tank, then Tank will clip him, and Tank a monster. Tank try to kill you. He's destructive. So I think Leo gonna end up knocking. If Leo get knocked out, it's gonna be to his own doing. I think he's gonna try to box Tank as much as he can, because he can box a little bit after what he did with Frampton. But Tank is a different monster, so I think if he does get knocked out, he's going to get himself knocked out. I think he's going to try to force Tank to lead. And he forced Tank to lead, he's going to try to play counterpuncher for a little bit. So we see how it goes. If I gotta take my guess, I think it's going to go all 12 because Leo's going to box. But if Leo knocks himself out, I think it's going to go around 8 rounds.
Now I got a question for the whole panel, one at a time. Let me get the whole question out. In Lomachenko's fight with Teofimo, and I know they're different fighters, he kind of sold out and he wasn't willing to go out on his shield, in my view. For 7 rounds, he kind of played it real safe when he seen what he was up against. Based on Leo Santa Cruz being a Mexican-American warrior, what he showed us in the past, does Leo have so much pride? Do you think Leo Santa Cruz has so much pride where he's willing to go out on his shield? Kind of like Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko was willing to get knocked out versus Charlo. That's how I perceived it. He was fighting where he was losing, his eyes were getting sunk in, but he had so much heart, that heart kind of carried him to the 12th round instead of getting knocked out. So is Leo going to put on more of a Derevyanchenko performance where he's willing to get knocked out by coming forward and throwing punches? Or is he going to do kind of what Lomachenko did, which is hesitate and get gun shy when he starts feeling that power, and do kind of like Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, where he kind of just survives, but he goes 12. Does Leo have so much heart where none of that matters and he's just going to come forward? Or when he starts tasting that power, he's going to do like kind of like Mikey Garcia. I felt Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence was in there kind of to survive. He, after a certain place,
Can I respond real quick? And then I'll rebuttal. After I respond, I'm going to rebuttal with a question for you and Sword. Think about it. Leo Santa Cruz is known as a volume puncher. He throws more than 100 punches every round. Every fight I ever seen him do, it's 90 to 110 punches per round. Yeah, he's gonna go out on his shield, but that's it, like, because even after he get hit, he's gonna convert back to what he knows. He knows that if I put punches in bunches, I'd normally win. So I mean, why wouldn't you think that he would do it? Like, I mean, yeah,
it's not about if I think that, is I'm just posing the questions, you know, so we have a two-way conversation. It's not, this is not what I feel. I'm asking.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But why, like, yo, as anybody else, not you, like anybody else, why wouldn't they think Leah's not gonna throw punches? Like, yeah, he's willing to risk the knockout. Dude, whenever he gets to the point where he converts back to the things he knows,
yeah,
he's playing with danger. He's playing with fate, because that's the person he is. He knows that normally when he throws 100 plus punches per round, he wins fights. Volume punches, because he keeps people from creating their offense.
Well, I got a rebuttal to your point. You say, why would anyone question it? I pose the question because you guys can't have your cake and eat it too, and say that Leo has never faced the power of a Gervonta Tank Davis. So if you said he's always thrown 100 punches around, but then you also, everybody on the panel basically said Tank has the type of power that Leo has never faced. So with that being considered, if Leo has never tasted this type of power, then who knows how he's going to react if he gets hit. He might just say like, oh, damn, he ain't hitting like the other guys, and shell up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I was fighting other heavyweights. Hold on. Let's say I was fighting other heavyweights, and then I fight Deontay Wilder, and then Deontay Wilder cracks me with some shit I've never felt before. Then your reaction might not be the same as all them other fights, because you fought Wilder. You just said, everybody said that Tank hit harder than anyone Leo's faced. So then who knows how Leo will respond to it if he, like, you know, cowers out or hesitates or whatever, gets gun shy, because he's never faced that power.
I get everything you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. But being the person I am and knowing what I know, normally people convert back to what they know, what has always worked.
I get that.
Yes, he might get cracked, but he's like, yo, if I'm throwing, he's not throwing, which may not be true. And that's where he's setting himself up for failure. I think he will try and box him. That's why I said a ninth round knockout, because he's going to try and box from a distance in the beginning. But he's going to get cracked in the beginning, and then I think he's going to convert back to the things that's always worked for him.
And I get that, you know, people, they're creatures of habit. But my thing is this: if you never know how, no one wants to get knocked out. It takes a concerted effort to taste power from a menacing Jamal Charlo, Gervonta, Deontay Wilder, and try to push through that, and you know, and not fold, and just be like, okay, I'm willing to go out on my shield. So I'm just wondering, I know Leo, I'm not trying to question his heart. I know he has heart, and I'm picking Tank, by the way, also. I'm just asking the question, does Leo have so much heart where he tastes this menacing power that everyone's talking about, that hurt Ivan Redcash in sparring, that knocked out Pedraza, a guy Lomachenko couldn't knock out? And does he kind of, I hate to say it, but tuck his tail and just like play it conservative to not get knocked out? Like, man, okay, he's faster than I thought, his response time is quick, etc. And some guys do that, because you have to fight like Derevyanchenko fought Jamal and be willing to just potentially get splattered in front of everybody on pay-per-view.
I think Leo is the type of fighter that he'll rather go out of his shield instead of just trying to survive for 12 rounds.
Okay.
You know, I do agree that he's going to come out and try to box, but, you know, like I said, he's not going to be able to keep Tank Davis off of him for 12 rounds. And by the time that he realizes that, you know, what Tank's power feels like, he's going to be on the floor already. he's gonna get hit, and he's
Wow.
gonna go down, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, and now I know what his power feels like. And then after that, yeah, he could try to avoid it, but Tank is just gonna keep on coming.
Fair. Hey, Tank, are you with us?
Yes, yes, I am. I was just waiting to get a chance
Yeah, I
to chime
didn't
in.
forget about you. So
No,
what's your initial thoughts, impressions? Gervonta, Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, Showtime, pay-per-view. Who wins, how they win, all that good stuff. Tank, we asking you about Tank.
man, I'm sorry about that. I got a phone call. I forgot to
Oh,
put
no, you
my
can take that. I'll
phone
skip.
up.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're ready to respond, I'm just asking your
Okay,
thoughts on the fight outcome.
my bad. Okay, so my initial thoughts are that it looks like it's going to be an action-packed, fan-friendly fight, just stylistically, just because of the way Leo fights, and we already know what Gervonta Davis brings to the table in terms of excitement and being fan-friendly. Um, I think that Leo is going to want to come out here and use his legs um, and try to uh, fight moving inside, outside, get some licks in to look very active or be very active. He's like you said earlier, he's a taller fighter. So I think that he's going to want to like kind of make it look, at least to the judges and fans looking on, that he's towering over Gervonta at times and throwing punches and bunches, as they say. That way, whether he's winning a round or not, it looks like he's going to be winning rounds. I think that's kind of like the game plan that they're going to go after. Um, I think that he's going to want to control the distance and space of this fight based on that power that Gervonta has that we all know about. So um, I think that's going to be like his focus going in, and I think that they're hoping that um, they can take Davis into these late rounds and try to tire him out and see if they can, kind of beat him on attrition. I think that it's not only Leo Santa Cruz, but a lot of these fighters that we're hearing out here, they're calling Tank Davis out by name because they think that they can exploit aspects of his game in terms of they want to know if he's really as dedicated to the sport as the predecessor Mayweather, contemporaries like Devin Haney, and they want to know. So a lot of these guys are calling them out because they're not sure, and that there's something that has to be said for that aspect, because if they have that in their mind going into these fights, maybe that's what they want to exploit. The problem with that is, on the flip side of that, is like everyone is pointing out, Gervonta Davis hits like a son of a bitch. So all your plans can go out the window once you get touched by this kid. And not only does he hit hard, but he has very, very high boxing skills. I forgot who pointed it out earlier, but we have not got a chance to see a lot of those skills on display for long periods of time. But if you go back and rewatch a lot of these fights, especially the Gamboa fight, which he gets a lot of slack for, you do actually get to see him utilize a lot of those skills in terms of when when uh, when Gamboa was messing around. I guess he had a shoe malfunction, or they say he got injured or whatnot. Something was going on with his feet, but you can still see that the savvy
I
vet
think
in
that was
Gamboa.
Cap.
Me too. I think that if anything, it was something with the shoe, but that's whatever. But
No, yeah, I get they're saying that
at the
though.
time, yeah. At the time, I just rewatched the fight again because I wanted to see that fight again and see what was really going on in those middle rounds, because the narrative has always been that Gervonta got tired. And when I was looking at it again, I don't think he got tired as much as I think that he was trying to get rounds in, and also uh, sometimes he was playing around, but sometimes he was just trying to cut off the ring and find his way in, because Gamboa, what he kept doing was jab, 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 try to get a couple shots in and hold. And I think that's what Leo is going to want to do. He's going to want to hit, hold, get out to the distance that he wants to fight in, and then try to drag the fight on. The problem with that is he's going to learn that Gervonta Davis is an awesome awesome body puncher. Leo Santa Cruz tends to fight with his head down when he gets into exchanges and starts throwing a lot of punches. He keeps his head down, so that's going to open up a puncher like Gervonta Davis, who's an excellent uppercut puncher, to get some shots in, whether it's to the stomach, to the head with these uppercuts, and how to stand them up. I see a lot of that happening. In terms of your other question about
hold on, I'm gonna jump in real quick because I got a question.
No sweat.
A couple questions to the whole panel. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and this is a freestyle, open-ended question from anybody on the panel. Tank's weight. A lot of old media has made up a lot of like rumors and lies and stuff. Is anybody worried about Tank making or missing weight?
Nah, I'm not. It's not just old media. I some of the new media saying that they think Tank wearing this hot suit too long, man. But he already he was at weight 2 weeks. He was at weight 2 weeks ago, and these cats are bringing this stuff up.
Yeah, I think people stubbornly cling to certain talking points, and even if those points change or like things change, they don't incorporate what's recent. You know what I mean? Like Tank has missed weight before or weighed in naked and stuff, but I was never really worried about him missing weight. Like, I just want to know from you guys.
To me, Tank's weight is not a problem. Like, they made the fight at 130. I don't know if it was you or somebody else. They made the fight at 130 because they thought he was gonna miss weight. Tank ain't weight drained. He started camp early. You said, what was it, like a week ago when you said Tank was 134 point something?
Yeah, he was
Tank will probably get on the scale. Me personally, I think he's gonna get on the scale probably like 129.7. And he's gonna rehydrate. He's gonna come into the fight 134, 135-ish.
Does anybody think this? What was that?
I was gonna say I don't think there's gonna be a problem with the weight. And not only do I think it's not gonna be a problem with the weight, from what I'm seeing so far, he looks comfortable. And that's
he don't
impressive.
look like a skeleton.
He doesn't look drained. He doesn't look like a skeleton.
I've seen it somewhere where he said that's his natural. 130 is his natural weight.
Yeah, I think the reason he came from Baltimore, there's a lot of distractions. Like what I mean is, I know he comes from Baltimore, but what I'm saying is trained in Vegas, is he left all the distractions. There's a lot of distractions. These fighters stay at home and have camps at home and stuff, good food spots about. People want to check in with your camp, want to go out, just different things like that. So I think he has a good team, a great team, and they're not going to allow him to like kind of cat off and, go to the abyss with. That's why he's in Vegas. I think Vegas was a good look and a good move. So he's under the supervision of, the Mayweather.
Yeah.
All his coaches are there. And then Leonard Ellenby.
Of what you said, I think Floyd told him to come to Vegas.
Because I think Floyd wanted him.
This is his first pay-per-view. Floyd is not going to let him miss weight.
I got
it looks bad on Mayweather promotion too.
Oh, of course.
I agree.
And Showtime and Steven Espinoza, and and he would have to pay some ridiculous fine. I'm imagining a lot of people who try scare tactics saying Tank was going to miss weight and stuff like that. I have a question for you. Has there in recent modern history been a main event on pay-per-view where the person missed weight and to the point where the fight was in jeopardy? Like, I can't think of one, like a pay-per-view. Can you guys think of anything?
Floyd, but he was willing to pay that little extra $300,000.
Marquez fight?
Yeah. But he did that intentionally. It wasn't that he couldn't make it. He just did it intentionally.
I don't know if he did it intentionally. He was on a 21-month layoff where after the Ricky Hatton knockout, he wasn't in the sport. So, he might have miscalculated.
Floyd a machine. And he walk around.
But think about it. I don't think there has been, because lately there's been no pay-per-views besides the Charlos and Errol Spence.
No, I mean in history, like last 5 years, not just this year pandemic.
Oh no, in the last not really.
Yeah, because Chavez missed it on DAZN with Jacobs and stuff like that. He made it for Canelo, right? Chavez Jr.
Yeah, they killed.
But remember that was a catch weight though. The one with Chavez
164.5.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I don't have any issues. I don't think Tank is gonna miss weight. Like we saw last week he was already like at below 135, and other people that are with his camp, I think what is it, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, like he's been like that for 2 weeks, so he feels good. So I don't see weight being a problem, and like someone just recently said, I don't think that especially being with Floyd and training in Vegas, big first pay-per-view, he's not gonna miss weight. He'll be fine. I don't think he's gonna miss weight.
Now, Jay Stacks had a question, and I want to present it to you guys. Does anyone have this fight going to the cards? 12 rounds. Sir, you said you did?
Yeah, I can see it. I think Leo, I think he's going to do it for his father because he did that fight against Frampton. His father told him to box Frampton that second fight, and he boxed Frampton. So I think he's going to do the same thing, especially his father being a little bit more sick. I think he's going to go to, I think he's just going to try to box his way into 12 rounds and not go. If that's your father's last fight, you don't want your father to see his last fight or you getting knocked out or something like that. So I think he's going to try to box his way into either to a decision or let it go to his going to decision to be good for him.
Anybody else picking decision? Hey, you got quiet. All right, sir, you on your own.
Nah, because what it is. He's like, no, you know what it is? Is like, it's not going to be his option. Like, I'm keeping it real. Like, he could try to box. But eventually Tank Davis is going to catch up to him, and he's not going to be able to keep Tank off of him. And like I said, when he realizes that power, he's going to be on the floor. Like, what the hell just hit me? So
that's why
he could box. He could box all he wants, but Tank is going to catch him. Sooner or later, he's going to catch him. So
actually, what Sura said really struck me though, because this is his pop's last fight, and his pops just got out the hospital, was about to die. Like, things like that matter, right? So you've seen that plenty of times in sports.
Facts.
Things like that matter, right? So I actually am leaning now more toward what Sarah was saying. Like, this is going to be the fight where all that emotion is going to come out. And yeah, look, I still think Tank's going to knock him out, but that's a possibility. I'm not discounting that his pops and everything he's gone through with him to help bring him over the line.
See what you did, sir? That's what I'm talking about. Easy work Wednesday. He converting some people.
I agree with Sir. I like what Sir said. I love it. But here's the thing: you still have to account for Tank.
That's true.
You still have to account for him. Here's the thing: you made him go back down. He moved up to 135. You made him go back down to 130 because you thought he was going to be weight drained. So now he's like, okay, no, this is my natural weight. This is where I'm supposed to be anyway. I'm going to show you why making me do this just made me angry. So I'm going to prove it to you, and I'm going to prove it to everybody.
I also think that, oh, my bad. I was just going to say this real quick. I also think that Gervonta Tank Davis, he's on the cusp. This is his first pay-per-view. So he knows the implications of being on a pay-per-view and what this means for his career. So to me, I'm looking at it like also Gervonta Tank Davis knows he can be the next Mayweather and carry the kind of pay-per-view torch. So it's hard pressed for me to see him losing this particular fight because the stakes are high and the implications are high. Like I think this is not a knock. I know Tank, this is not a knock on him, but I think we haven't seen the best of Tank, and Tank has been operating, beating guys, not necessarily on 100%. You know what I mean? Like 100% dedicated, 100% focused, 100% the dieters, right? And he's gifted naturally, so he's able to beat guys. And there's guys like that, like Zab Judah, Broner, where they can beat guys and they can beat them just off pure athleticism, power, natural ability and stuff like that. And I think Tank is going to come into this fight dialed in, focused. He played no games. And if he's beating guys, and I'm not saying he's just like trying to make him God tier or whatever, saying he's beating guys on 50%, but if he's beating guys on 72%, 76%, 80%, imagine if he moves that needle to 86%, 87, 90%, 100%, you know what I'm saying? Then I think it's going to be a hellish night. What were you saying, sir?
Yeah, like I said, if Leo get knocked out, he's going to knock himself out. If he try to go balls to the wall, then he just sacrificed himself to the damn Kraken. You're going to run up on Tank like that with the power Tank got. You want it to get knocked out, so he'd be sacrificing himself. But I'm still going to take that father element into it. I know he wants his father wants his father to see him go out, not on his back. So, but then again, you never know. He might just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on my shield." He might choose that, but I think he's going to try to box his way, and so his father can see him on his feet. But then you do got to take into consideration Tank has been training, and he's been training at high altitude, and he's been sparring people like Cuba Arias. He's been sparring big dudes, so I think Tank plan
That's
is
ridiculous.
try to walk through dude. That's
Luis
his plan.
Cuba Arias, in case you guys don't know, he fought Danny Jacobs. That's a middleweight.
So
I agree
big
with
dude.
both of y'all. I
Having
agree with
Ray
both of
Cash.
y'all. I agree
So-
with both of y'all. But to me, it's more on Tank, because Tank was told from Floyd, from Leonard Ellerby, you can be the next pay-per-view star. This is his first pay-per-view. Nobody wants to get in a first pay-per-view and make it go to the cards, especially if you're the next star. You're the next Floyd. No, he's trying to give people their money's worth. So yes, Leo might try to box him, but Tank is going to move in a position where he can get his shots off.
Now on the last thing with the decision, I gotta move along the conversation, but I gotta say on the decision, if it does possibly go to a decision, is anybody worried? Because out of all states, the state of Texas has gotten it wrong in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Pernell Whitaker, Paulie Malignaggi, complained about Texas judging, and I think it was the Juan Diaz fight, things like that. So do you think there will be any level of potential controversy in this fight if it goes to the scorecards, in Texas, and you have a Hispanic fighter, Mexican-American fighter, and Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank, and the fight was close? Because we all believe it's going to be a competitive fight. Will controversy in any shape, preferably with the scorecards, come into play here?
Nah,
They
it's
both
a
are
Floyd
leading
fight.
Going to come into
One at a
place.
time. Whoever that one.
Nah, I think this is go ahead.
No, just whoever's talking, just keep talking, and then
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
going to come into place. I don't know if it's going to come into place because I don't know how close the fight's going to be, even if it goes the distance. Those cards where they were close and the judges went one way or the other in Texas, some of those fights weren't as close as that we like that they said they were, and they gave them the other way. But I think that if this fight goes a distance and Gervonta Davis puts on a show for his first pay-per-view the same way that Errol Spence did for his against Mikey Garcia, and has a dominant performance where he shuts him out 12 rounds, I don't see them cheating that. Now, if Leo Santa Cruz, does more than Mikey did, then that's possible. But I think that Calvin Ford wants Davis to come out and put on a performance the same way that Errol did against Mikey. And if he does that, I don't see it being an issue with the judges.
next.
I was just wanted to say that it's a Floyd card, it's a Mayweather card. So I mean, I don't see any shenanigans going on for Gervonta in this fight. This is his card and his debut. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they both Al Heyman fighters, so I don't see now if he was a Golden Boy or top rank, then I can see some bullshit in the game. But both Al Heyman fighters, nah, I don't see. I think it's going to be pretty much fair down the line.
Yeah, I don't think the judges will be an issue. But going back real quick to what Sir was saying with the his father being in his corner, and what his father went through, I feel like his father being there might be quicker to throw in the towel, because I think that he might not want see his son take punishment. So I think if Leo is getting just tagged and getting hurt, round after round, I see the dad, if anything, throwing in the towel, if anything.
So the
I
dad might make an
that,
emotional response.
correct. Like, I understand that Leo at heart, he might want to do it for his father, but at the same time, you have to think of, let's say, his father's seeing his son just getting beat. He might throw in the towel sooner than what Leo wants. So, that's another thing. So
is this fight going to be competitive?
I think the fight will be competitive. I think the fight will be competitive the first few rounds, until Tank Davis finds his range, until he gets used to the Leo's reach, or if Leo's boxing from the outside. I think the first few rounds will be competitive, but I think once Tank, feels him out and gets in there, gets into his body, I don't think he's gonna be competitive. I think he's gonna be, like I said, I have him winning by TKO. Either the ref is gonna stop it or Leo's corner is gonna stop it.
So competitive, and then Tank pulls away.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting more than competitive.
That's a great way to
be
put
exciting.
it. Shout out to Tank. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting fight as long as it lasts. And I also think that like I said, the arrow spins versus Mikey fight. Remember, Robert Garcia was going to throw that towel in there.
Facts.
And I think that could happen in this fight. I really do think that Gervonta could dominate him, and Leo may refuse to go out in the shield, and his corner, his brother or his dad, may just be like, you know what? Nah.
Me personally, I think the fight will be competitive depending on what Leo shows up. But I also think we're going to see a Tank we've never seen. Tank is more focused. Tank has been away from the things he knows, the things he's used to. He trains in Baltimore all the time. He's not training there. So he has a different hunger. He's got a different wavelength right now. So it's like, like the competitivity of the fight depends on which Leo is there. If Leo's just trying to box, or he goes into the survival mode, it's not going to be that competitive. It's going to be one-sided. But if Leo converts back to the old Leo that we know, who's a volume puncher and stuff, yeah, if he goes to the cards, it's more competitive because he's throwing punches. But it's like I said, if you take that risk, you're going to get caught with a shot.
Now, the thing that's intriguing to this fight for me is Leo, like my man Jay Stacks was saying earlier, he's the volume guy. So he does throw a lot of punches, and Tank's a great counter puncher. If it goes to the second half, does Tank have any worries in terms of stamina? Because typically from the power puncher, they don't throw as many punches. And Leo says he's going to try to take him to deep waters and drown him. And he does throw a lot of punches. So will that be in the second half if Gervonta hasn't made enough of an imprint on Leo Santa Cruz, that volume punching plus cardio and nutrition, will that, at all play a fact? Does Tank have stamina in the second half, selecting his shots?
Oh, please let me go first.
Hold on, I got
Gamboa in the last round.
Who?
He knocked out Gamboa in the last round.
Yeah, but Gamboa allegedly was hurt or whatever the situation.
He knocked out Gamboa in the last round.
But that's not really a good example, because Gamboa wasn't.
He took rounds.
Gamboa was in survival mode though.
And when I looked at the fight, because I looked at it again, he didn't look tired. He just looked frustrated.
Yeah, but was Gamboa throwing punches to you? Like, was
no.
he throwing But look, you just said earlier, Leo throw 1,000 punches, 100 per round. So if Gamboa was allegedly injured and he was in survival mode, not throwing punches, then that
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That's why I said, but Tank didn't look tired. He looked like he was just taking rounds off.
Yeah, but he wasn't being swarmed by Gamboa punching power. I
think he's in better shape this time. Because think about it, I think he's in better shape. I'm from the East Coast. Training in PA, Baltimore, New York, Virginia, and it's like the wintertime, it's colder. You go to Vegas where it's still 100 degrees. That's why Tank don't look weight drained. Like, he's doing it the right way. And then he got Floyd. Floyd said, oh no, you're gonna see him box. You're gonna see him box because Leo's coming in the fight to box. He said he's gonna box and he's gonna try and take him to deep water. That means Tank ain't throwing them killer shots. And think about it. With the first Wilder Ortiz fight, Wilder wasn't throwing big shots in either Ortiz fight in the beginning. He let Ortiz do what he was going to do, and he was selectively picking his punches.
But I think with the Leo versus Luis Ortiz, you can't make no mistakes at all versus him. He gonna clip your ass. So Leo is not technically what a Luis Ortiz is. You see what I'm saying? So Wilder had no choice but to play,
But
you know,
it's the
reasonably.
same principle. If you're gonna box me, I'm gonna box you. And they say everybody you talk to in the industry say Tank is Tank has an amateur background too.
No, I get that. I talked to his coach.
He can box. Like, yo, just like they talked about Theo. Like, him versus Loma, he's just the power punch. No. And what did he do? What did he do the first 7 rounds to win all 7 rounds? He boxed.
Anybody else? What does Tank's stamina look like in the second half?
I think Tank's stamina is going to be on point because he's training at high altitude. He's training in Vegas. He's sparring on big dudes. He's sparring Iris. He was sparring another dude that was big. So he's going to try to walk through whatever Leo. And then Leo throw punches. If Leo throw punches, he's going to create a bridge. And Tank's going to cross those damn bridges or destroy them goddamn bridges. One or the other. He got the power to do it. So if you throw punches, you leave yourself vulnerable. So if you throw a punch and Tank box and catch him with something, that's the, like I say, he's gonna knock himself out. He's gonna do something. If he throws a punch, he try to throw those 100 punches you throw around, he's going to create a bridge and open it. And Tank's going to cross that bridge or destroy that motherfucking bridge. But something's
one thing I noticed from watching Tank fights live, covering his fights, that's incredible that he does, is this motherfucker quick. Like when he caught Ricardo Nunes after the break, it was like out of nowhere. And then Nunes, he was goofing off and trying to showboat, he thought it was sweet or whatever. And he was like playing around. And Tank was like, all right, off of the break, bop, hooked him. And that pretty much set up him falling back in the ropes, being hurt. And even on the ropes, he shot one shot and Nunes's head was like, bop, and went all the way up. Tank's a great finisher. Hold on. Tank's a great finisher. And he's explosive and he can explode out of nowhere. Pause. What were you saying, Jay Stacks?
I got to give credit to the boxing icon right now, a.k.a. Boxingego. You talked about him boxing. He's sparring with the Barrios twins. They're what, 126? Are they both 126?
Yeah.
No, they're 5'11", damn near 6 foot. You're 5'5", but you're training with them. And then one of the first one to fight on that card, he's a great boxer. The second one got cracks. So you're sparring with them. So they're taller than Leo. But you're putting yourself in a position. You're learning. You're gaining information. And then you got Floyd in your corner, who is the precisionist. Floyd is not. He doesn't have that record from not knowing things. Like, yo, so like they say Tank's already a good boxer and we never see him box the way he can box. And then you got Floyd right there. Like, no, this is what you do.
Great points.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to those late rounds that you're talking about, Ego, I think that Leo does intend to drag Davis out to those deep waters and then put the pressure on with the volume punching. I'm not sure whether or not he'll be tired, because I do think, like everybody else, that this camp matters with Davis going to train with Mayweather in Las Vegas for as long as he's been out there. Seems like he's taking the camp serious and he should be in great shape. But I don't think that it'd be too much of an issue, but I think that it'd be a good game plan for Leo to do. I just think that Davis has proven, if nothing else, in the Gamboa fight, that his power can last all 12 rounds. So even if he is tired and Leo opens up, he can get caught, and it could be trouble for Leo late in those rounds.
Rate Leo Santa Cruz's power on a scale of 0 to 10. This is an open question to anybody on the panel. At like 126, 130, like where do you rate his power? Like
7,
like a 6 or 7, yeah, like 6 or 7.
When he was 118, he was a 6 or a 7. 126, he was a 5 or 6. 130, it's a 4 or 5.
He has average power at 130, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
He has average power. like if you look at his knockouts, they're all because of volume punches. It's an accumulation, but you got to hit the person. And like, yo, he hasn't, like, just like you said about the silly.
When's his last stoppage? Anybody have that information? I'm just curious now. When was his last stoppage? Somebody look. Hold on, I'll look it up. You guys keep talking. I don't even know who's the last guy he stopped. He didn't stop Abner. He didn't stop the Flores dude. Let me pull this up. This is a good question.
I think it's the
Matt,
guy
do you
before.
have any opinions on his power? Where you were rated?
Yeah, about a 6 or 7.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.